The auditors are going to develop this audit plan that includes audit procedures, and they need to know the type or the form of those procedures, extent, timing of when those procedures are going to be performed. All of this is part of the audit plan. So what exactly is that again? What's an audit plan? What is, when you talk about a plan, like what's your plan to pass this class? What's your plan to study? What is a plan? It's just what? Yeah, list of steps. Yeah, it's basically a comprehensive list of audit procedures that the audit team can perform to ensure that they have sufficient appropriate audit evidence. It's their list of steps or tasks that if they do this, they will collect sufficient appropriate evidence in which they can base their opinion on, right? They have to have a plan, because otherwise, how will they know if they have enough evidence? How do they know if they have quality evidence, like the correct nature? How would they know if they had enough evidence to support an opinion? They need a plan. So the audit plan, sometimes called the audit program, is just a list of audit procedures that the team needs to perform to ensure that they have enough quality evidence to base their opinion on. We didn't hint on this too much in the very first chapter in this class, which is why we're bringing it back here. Does anybody know what the typical makeup of an audit team is in general? How are these things usually staffed? You understand what the structure is like in a typical auditing firm, or you got a partner, manager, senior manager? Yeah, so all of these are part of the team, right? So a typical auditing team is going to likely consist of a manager or a partner, a manager, a senior, and staff, sometimes an intern. And each one of these roles on an audit team serves a different function. So according to PCAOB 2101, in addition to the engagement partner, the partner who is usually a specialist in that particular area. So if you're going to a manufacturing company, they're typically an expert or have experience in manufacturing. If you're going to a financial services firm, they usually have experience there, right? The engagement partner is the partner who's ultimately responsible for that audit engagement. There's also a secondary partner assigned to review the audit engagement. And that partner is called a quality assurance partner or concurrent partner. And I know that you had a definition for this in your notes, we went over it. So what's the difference between an audit engagement partner and a quality assurance partner? What's the difference between an audit engagement partner and a quality assurance partner? Remember the quality assurance partner, right? That concurrent partner reviews the audit engagement to ensure that they meet the firm's quality standards and the PCAOB standards. We talked about that when we talked about quality control. Versus the audit engagement partner is a partner that's actually involved with the audit, right? They're the one that's usually a specialist. They're part of the audit team. The secondary review partner or the concurrent partner is not technically a part of the audit team. That's why they can do this review, right? Because they're outside of the actual engagement. Oh yeah, they're still in the firm, right? So it's just another partner, or if they choose to, it could be a manager, but someone who puts another set of eyes on the, fresh set of eyes on the engagement to ensure that everything was done up to the firm standards, the PCAOB standards. It's the exact same. So no, you're technically both. So if you're a regular partner, right? And let's say you're a specialist in financial services. So you normally do clients that are like maybe JP Morgan Chase is your client. And another partner is the partner over Morgan Stanley. Well, since you didn't do that audit, you can review it. You see what I mean? So it's not a different career path, it's the same. It's just, if you're not on that audit engagement, you might be asked to make sure that it's within the firm standards. So what is a quality assurance partner and what do they do? The quality assurance part, oh, go ahead. So let's say that, for instance, the audit team is at, I'll use one from my personal experience. Let's say you're auditing, well, they got bought out, but pretend they didn't. Auditing Anheuser-Busch. That's the audit team has partners, managers, interns, seniors, staff, second years. Everybody's a part of this one audit engagement. We're considered the audit engagement team. Once we're done with our audit, someone else that was not a part of this team, another partner, has to review it, right? So that reviewer is independent in a sense of that actual engagement because they didn't do it. They didn't do the work on it. Does that make sense? because they have an invested interest to make sure that their firm is putting out quality audits, right? That's part of the firm's quality control system. How do they make sure that every audit is up to their standards? It has to be, because whenever an audit partner is a part of the engagement, they can't review it. So somebody else has to do it. And somebody else has to do the one that they're a part of. And so, yes, anyone who's not a part of that audit engagement can review it. And sometimes firms might have a partner who they typically go to as a reviewing partner, like they're really good at it. As long as they want a part of that engagement, they can do it. Before we move on to the difference between interim and year-end, still talking about the staffing on an audit engagement. We talked about the engagement partner. We talked about the quality review partner, who's also sometimes called a concurrent partner, also sometimes called a secondary or second review partner, secondary partner. We talked about managers, staff, seniors, etc. Other people who could possibly be a part of the audit engagement includes IT specialists. They're going to be, according to the PCAOB, they're covered members of the audit team. So they're going to be considered a part of the team. Nowadays, usually the bigger firms are going to have IT departments or IT auditors that can be a part of the audit engagement. But back in the day, we used to outsource that. There might be some tax considerations. Well, they might ask a tax partner or associate or someone from the firm who's a specialist in that to join the team.